You guys, I'm not able, I'm not able to let anybody in. Lord, we just pray that there'd be no issues with this technology. Lord, that you would help. Usually it will, okay, Jill Ullman entered. I'm going to admit her. I have said such issues with this. Okay, let's see if why you're not able to. Okay, Mike McGrath. Oh, okay. Let's see if Jill can get Kitty entered the waiting room. I did all this trials. Hi.
Hi. Hi.
Hi, Mom.
Hey.
Hi, Jill. Hi, Jill. There's Mom.
Hi. How goes it?
Hi,
Hi,
Jill.
Hi.
Hi, Amber.
Hey. Well, hold on a minute. Let me
Connecting
fix
to
something.
audio. Sometimes people have a hard time with trying to figure out
That's better.
how to get them. They're muting. You guys are pros at knowing how to do all your muted. Judy Morris. Oh. Hi, David and Amber.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Judy and Mindy.
Hi.
Oh, I hear the girls.
Hi, Kitty.
Say hi.
There's Aaron.
Get in there. So far. They're getting so big.
You gotta turn it back here. So we can get the volume. You have to, you can do it on the volume.
Hi, Aaron.
Oh, Mama.
Number.
He's all here.
Cindy Harms.
Here, can you turn the volume up?
I can just sit here. Okay, yeah, yours. I'll just sit. I wonder why his is. Oh, because he's on his phone. Yeah. Francis.
Oh, I want to see Francis.
Where is she?
Do I need to be on mute?
Once we start, I'll holler everybody mute.
Okay.
Getting everybody kind of open.
Hi,
here.
Francis.
That's recording. I want to. Okay, I'm just recording now just to catch everybody up. We're doing a vignette here called Via Farina. And I'm going to share a picture here. And I'm going to have Erin share just, there's our time at the Botanical Garden. So this vignette is really about friendship, and friendship is one of the core values that I really value, being in community. And can you guys see that picture? You can? Oh, good. Okay. Victory, it worked. Well, we had this great dessert. And Erin has a background in culinary arts. She's attended some classes at Metro, and I just don't think there's anybody better than Erin to just give a quick snippet about this amazing dessert we had and this memory we had. So I'll let Erin just peek in real quick and chime in.
Okay. So Via Farina is a special place because I think pretty much everything they do is from scratch. And so that's just something that I really value, and I think Beth does too. We like to talk about baking a little bit and things like that. So, so it was a beautiful little place where we had some homemade pasta, and oh, I remember Beth tried shrimp and thought it was amazing. And that was a big victory for you. And so that was a fun part of the meal, just sharing that new experience. And then this dessert that you're seeing is a s'mores dessert. And so when we both saw that on the menu, then we got excited because we both said, oh, s'more is one of our favorite desserts. So, you know, we had already shared so much that day, and then even things were popping up on the menu that we could still, you know, that still opened up new things, new things that we shared that we hadn't known about before. So we got this s'mores pudding, which is, it's a homemade pudding with a couple of toasted marshmallows on it that even themselves are homemade. And I know those marshmallows had a special flavor, I think, maybe more than vanilla. I can't remember what that was. And then of course there's that homemade like Grammy Odie crumble on it. And it was just absolutely beautiful and the perfect take on s'mores for us for that beautiful summer day.
Thanks, Erin, for sharing the memory. I'm going to stop the share and keep moving along here. Well, over dessert, it's always such a gift to share a meal together. It's such a beautiful, wonderful, intimate thing too. But over dessert, I began sharing with Erin just how I don't feel like I've taken many risks in my life. I've played it safe a lot for a variety of reasons. But we both said getting married was a risk for us. She'd been married for a long time. I got married 6 years ago at the age of 42. And then our kind of conversation, we began talking about how Erin and I work in the field of social work, human services with the state of Nebraska. So we serve people who have a variety of developmental disabilities. But we talked about how what we do doesn't define who we are. And oftentimes we always ask people, well, what do you do? You know, and it's nice to learn something about somebody, but it doesn't define who we are. And I just personally, I'm defined by whose I am and who I belong to as a child of God. And this is where my identity lies. And we both share the most important things in our lives. We really, really value relationships. We were created for this. So relationships, fostering them. And I'm just going to have Erin share a little bit about how does she foster her friendships.
Okay. So, Beth, when you first asked me to do this, I don't know if you saw the surprise in my face, but I thought, me? That's so funny that you asked me because I feel like I've been wondering how to do that myself. And I almost said that to you. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out myself. But I also thought if you see that in me, then I think that must be a strength that you see in me. And I'm going to go with that. I'm going to believe you. And so thank you for seeing that in me and helping me think it through more. So fostering healthy relationships is something that I feel like I've struggled with through life because I moved around a lot as a young child. My parents didn't really role model that very well for me, I don't think. And so I was always moving away from people and relationships. And then also I'm a natural introvert. So that was also, it's just a challenge to introverted tendencies. So the older I got, the more I worried that I didn't have the right kinds of friendships, the kinds you see in movies and TV and in pop culture, not in real life. I finally realized. And so I finally stopped worrying about those kinds of friendships, or, what if my friendships were the right type, and started focusing on the friendships that I did have and what was important to me about those relationships. And so what I've realized is that it's important to have, maybe to me, to have only a few people in my life who are really important to me, with whom I share different parts of my life and different parts of my personality. Because what I was thinking before was, that stereotype about relationships, friendships especially, is that your friends should be everything to you and you should be everything to your friends, that they're everything you need. And, that's just not true in a lot of our relationships in life. We find different people in our lives do different things for us, and that's okay. And so the way that I have found to foster those relationships is to try to find the ways in which I really do connect with someone and listen to them well, and really connect on those interests. But then I took it a step further in thinking about this and realized that my the way I foster relationships is kind of based on the way that I give gifts. And so the way that I do that is that when I'm spending time with my friends, anytime at all, or people I care about, I listen to what is most important to them, and I make mental notes. And eventually, I'll tell you a secret, I take actual notes sometimes in my phone about what gifts I might give that person, because maybe they said something that helped me realize, oh my gosh, this would be a great gift for that person. And I actually put notes in my phone. Putting notes in my phone helps me, it helps reinforce that memory. It helps me think more about the interaction that I had with the person. It helps me anticipate maybe gift giving if I am going to give the gift. Sometimes I might not actually ever give the gift. Maybe it's too expensive, maybe it's unreasonable or inappropriate for some reason, but I've still thought about what would be a good gift for that person. And in the long run, what I've found that is helping me do is just listen to people. And so I think, Beth, what you have helped me realize is that showing your friends and the people who you care about that you're listening, even in the smallest ways, or maybe not the smallest ways, you know, maybe it's with gift giving or with the interests that you share, just showing them that you're listening to those, even those things, really creates opportunities for bonding and for creating wonderful memories, especially, you know, if you share a special interest with somebody, then you should go make a special memory with that person around that interest.
I love that, Erin. Thank you for sharing. One thing that I value about you is that you are a good listener and you're always so kind.
Mm.
So thank you. I'm going to just ask you one more question. And can you share another memory where you shared a meal with another friend or person you enjoyed? Maybe within about a minute and a half.
Okay. Yes. So one of my other favorite meals was a celebration of my 40th birthday and my friend Laura's 40th birthday, when we went to Paris together. Because we're both big foodies and we both love travel, and we're both very interested in Paris. And so we didn't make a whole lot of plans for that trip because we wanted it to be wide open, but we did make a very specific plan to go to a restaurant called L'Arpège, which was a 3 Michelin starred restaurant. That's almost entirely vegetarian and just puts out amazing creative dishes. And so we had 13 courses over about 2.5 hours. The only thing that was not vegetarian was a little bit of fish. And they brought it out. They brought the whole cured fish out on this gigantic tray to show everybody first before they, you know, afterwards then brought out the portions. And so anyway, you know, Laura and I were able to create that very, very special memory around those things that we really enjoy sharing together, the food and the travel. And then of course it was a birthday celebration. So that's the photos, the memories, everything from that are still super fresh for me.
Mm.
Yeah. So thank you for helping, allowing me to go down memory lane.
Oh, I love it. Thank you for sharing. Thanks for your friendship. I'm going to transition us here quickly, and then I'll have you guys get your pen and paper out as I'm reading here for a reflection. So in my late 20s to 30s, I was in a group called Terra Nova. That's where I met Jane and Debbie from Texas. And I remember Matthew Anderson was sharing one Sunday night. He was sharing from a book called Safe People. And it's how to find relationships that are good for you. There it is. I read this 20 years ago, and avoid those that aren't. And so I took this book out. I was reminded when I was preparing for this about relationships, and I reread it, and it just had so many really good things about healthy and safe relationships and relationships that you want to sow into. And so prior to that time in my life, I don't feel like I really knew how to share my heart with others openly. I was guarded. I didn't have a lot of safe people in my life. My picker was really off then, but I've just learned by kind of like Erin said, having a small inner circle of 1 to 3 friends has been such a gift to me. So I just want you to think about and just write down, what relationships do you want to continue to foster or pour into? When you think about the people in your life, are there 1 to 3 people, or who comes to mind that it's like we can be so busy with so many relationships that we never go deep with 1 or 2 people? So just kind of think about that and maybe write down who you want to continue to be in relationship with and foster relationship with, or create memories of some sort, or spend your time with more. And then the second question is, who are those few people in life that you are really grateful for? And my encouragement is to you is whoever that person or 2 or 3 is, I just encourage you to tell them that you appreciate them and how they've impacted your life. There's something that is so special when we just share with people why we appreciate them, why we love them, why they make a difference in your life. Send them a text, send them an email, call them up on the phone, send them a gift like Erin does so well. And then maybe there's somebody that you'd like to reach out to and get to know better. And so I'd encourage you, this involves risk of somebody maybe not being available, not having the time. But just think about that. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next vignette. It's called Cranberry Lake. And I'm continuing on with one of the core values, again, that I live by: relationships and community. So for this one, I guess my memory here is being single until age 42 had its perks. I was able to develop and seed into some really, really great friendships. As I look back at the decade of my 30s, it was full of memories with friends who lived off of 33rd and Webster Street. My dear friend Leslie was part of that precious time frame. She was like a sister to me. She taught me a lot of things. We fought, we laughed, just kind of all those things that a dear friend does. I never really had a really close best friend in my life until I met her. And so I'm just really grateful for her friendship through the years. And she was one of the people that who I eventually opened up and I shared everything. She knew everything in my life. So she kind of has become one of my close inner circle friends. So thanks, Leslie, when you listen to this, for being part of that. So this vignette is dedicated to my friend Leslie, who is wise. She's deep. She is a splunkerer, and she is a lot of fun. Some of you know her. She's an artist. You can find her work at leslieeyiwai.com. And I'm going to share a video. She wasn't able to join us today. She's finishing up an art project in Madison, Wisconsin. So I'm going to share a Zoom call that we had where she is going to just kind of talk about some memories about friendship and our friendship. I really hope I can get this one. Where did it go? Okay. So now I have to go to this, I think. Bear with me here. Whoops. There's that. Can you see it, you guys? Can you guys see the screen? Anybody?
Not yet.
You can't?
No.
Oh, bummer. I had it up. I've had some issues with this screen sharing. I tried files. I had it up last night. Let's do one more. See, it used to have this share here and now it doesn't. Let's do one more time.
Maybe copy and paste too. We'll let you do that.
See, can you guys hear that? Anybody?
Not really, not to.
No, okay, that's okay. Darn.
What about
take another second. It usually should pop up right here and it's not.
Okay.
Well, oh, let me do this. Try that. See, that's that. That's the screen. Oh, let me do that. Share screen. No. If it doesn't work out here, I'll just share a few memories. See, it's showing up.
That little fold, the little underneath. Yeah, what does that do? Oh, that's
Okay. Well, I'm really bummed that I can't get my video to work because it was a great video and some great memories. Well, I'm just going to share then a memory I had with her from that time, a few memories I had from that time. Leslie and I loved music. We loved to dance. We spent a lot of our time riding bikes with friends. Our friend Patty Carpenter, I don't know if Jane, you remember her, or Debbie. We'd spent a lot of time down by Creighton University and just in the downtown area in the old market. And we'd go out to eat at some of the fun restaurants down there. She was one of my friends who I knew I wanted to do some international travel. And I told her, she's told me one night, she said, if you want to go to wherever you want to go, I ended up going to Africa about 8 years ago. She said, you better learn how to eat some food because I, was meat and potatoes and that was about it. So one night, she served me an international dinner and I was like, ooh, well, my taste buds were like popping out, all these new flavors that I'd never tasted. And I would make funny faces because I was like, oh, I don't know about that. But the first restaurant she took me to was Ahmad's. Is that right? You guys downtown? Ahmad's. And I think it was Indian food. Jane's saying, yeah, is that Indian food? And I had some soup and I don't even remember what else, but it really opened up my palate and my taste buds. And I was able to go to Africa and I was willing to try things. That was a big victory for me. And since then, I've continued to step out in that area. So back to the music and dancing. One day she was sharing some songs with me from a CD, when that's all we used to buy was CDs back then. And it was a group called Over the Rhine, R-H-I-N-E. Anybody know Over the Rhine? Oh, yes. So good. They're a group out of Georgia, Judy and Mindy. And we both loved like the depths of their lyrics. And we decided to go to their concert in Benson at the Waiting Room. And out came this gentleman who was probably about our age at that time. So we thought he was really cool and he was just really cute and not as cute as my husband. But he came out with just him and his guitar to open the show. And anybody who's been to the Waiting Room, it's a really small venue. It's very intimate, dimmed lights, small stage. And he was just this soft-spoken singer-songwriter out of New York. His name is Ari Hest, H-E-S-T. And his songs were nothing but stories, just these vivid stories with tons of imagery and just really, really beautiful. So she bought his CD that night. And I came over one night and we were playing the whole CD. And our favorite song ended up being this song called Cranberry Lake. So I'm going to have you guys sing some da-da-da-das with me as I do a little intro, and I'll teach you it. And then when I cue you, you guys can all join in on the da-das. So you can unmute yourself and I'm going to teach you it real quick. Okay. And the words are really simple, but the imagery is so beautiful and fun. So here's what we're going to sing when I cue you. It goes like this. Da 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 da. Da 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 da, da 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 da. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da. Okay. And somebody will get a prize if you know what a rice house is. Listen to the lyrics.
I know what it was.
Nora. Build me a sky, build me escape, build me a rice house on Cranberry Lake. You ready? Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. This is fun. Float on our backs, draw figure eights, drift for miles on Cranberry Lake. I've been dreaming out loud, but there's no turning back now, no. Build me a sunset, your set of paints, behind our rice house on Cranberry Lake. Here we go, Daz. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Build me a sunrise with your set of paints in front of our rice house on Cranberry Lake. Good job. I'm going to share
That's good.
that first piece of artwork is what goes to that song. So there's my own version of Cranberry Lake. And then you can just picture all of the visuals that he sang about there. So thanks for singing. That was fun. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next vignette, which is the next. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
You can?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the vignette. It's called Harvest Moon. And you can kind of see it's a fall day. The moon is shining. There's lots of light there. Okay, so for this, I started this painting. This was the night that Erin and I had met up. And I came home that night and I started painting that. And I was looking out the window and the moon was shining so bright on a fall night. And just on the kind of the concept of values and relationships, besides my journey and my relationship with God, the next most important relationship is with my husband, Mike. Marriage is beautiful, but it's one of the hardest things I've done in my life. Getting married later in life made it even a little bit more challenging for us. Thank goodness for good friends and people who love us. And Jimmy Evans and Marriage Today YouTube videos have been a gift for us. Mike's smiling, he's kind of funny. But we work hard at our marriage because it's worth it. And I've learned the importance of working through issues of my past because they affect my present and my future. And I know my husband likes music as much as I do, all genres, and he periodically gives me an invitation. And I'm just sharing this, just kind of think about this song in light of people that you enjoy being with, that you've shared a memory with through music. So this was my memory with, it happened to be with Mike. And sometimes ever since we dated, he started giving me this invitation where he'll say, "Welcome to my dance floor." And that has been on a airline bus. This song that I play, he will, anytime we hear it queued up, it'll be the "Welcome to my dance floor." And wherever we're at, we get up and we dance to the song. So it's been at Panera Bread on the patio, in our kitchen. 2 weeks ago, the song came on at Jason's Deli and we got up and we danced, literally just danced. It was just fun. It's kind of our thing we do. And so Harvest Moon was one night, he played this song for me and welcomed me to the dance floor outside our front door on the lawn, barefoot in the summertime. And so I'm just going to play this for you. And, you know, it's kind of a fun song it's an old slow song by Neil Young. Any Neil Young fans out there? But, you know, it's this kind of romantic song a little bit. And it's kind of talking about friendship and love and it's all romantic until Mikey does his thing that he does and he howls like a coyote. Mike, I'm going to cue you now.
It's not a coyote, it's a chihuahua.
Okay, Chihuahua, Coyote in the Moon. Howl away. He's not doing it. Okay, I'm cutting you off. That's it. That's it. So that song was all romantic, and then he gets to cut in with his howling outside the moon that night. So anyway, this vignette is dedicated to my husband. He likes to be called Mookie now because of Mookie Betts from the LA Dodgers. And as you listen to it, I just want you to think about and maybe write down a memory of a time that you shared where you were listening to music with somebody and it just evokes a memory and a feeling. Just write that down if you can. Okay, gotta get my music out here. And then there's two more people who are going to share as part of this vignette as well. Neil Young has a great rendition of this, so you'll have to download it. It's an oldie but a goodie. Come a little bit closer, hear what I have to say. Just like children sleeping, we could dream this night away. But there's a full moon rising, let's go dancing in the light. We know where the music's playing, let's go out and feel the night. Because I'm still in love with you, I want to see you dance again. Because I'm still in love with you on this harvest moon. When we were strangers, I watched you from afar. When we were friends, I loved you with all my heart. But now it's getting late, and the moon is climbing high. I wanna celebrate, see it shining in your eyes. Because I'm still in love with you, I wanna see you dance again. Because I'm still in love with you on this harvest moon. I wanted to just highlight Sam in the corner. Sam there. Can you wave, Sam? I met Sam years ago when I was working at Methodist Hospital, and I got to know her and her husband at that time. And they just loved on me and invited me into their home, and we had dinner together. And one night I was over there, and they had shared with me, I had really been desiring to be married, and they had shared with me, they said, one way to keep your marriages alive is to never quit dancing together. And so That's just really, I love that, Sam. You taught me that, so thank you. Okay. I think my guitar's out of tune. So I'm going to transition to Frances Patterson. Can you wave, Frances? Welcome. I'm going to have Frances share a little vignette of her own about a memory that involved a memory about people and music and just kind of a special memory. So I'm going to let you go ahead and share that.
Yes, thanks, Beth. And this is really fun. So thanks everyone. This has a little bit to do with travel, that ties in kind of a fun way. I am talking about a memory set in Jamaica, and I have to like represent a little bit. And I have some of my Jamaican things that I've got there over the years behind me. I was looking back through a journal and I wrote a little bit about Jamaica, and I said, Jamaica has a special place in my heart. In fact, I leave more of my heart behind every time I go there. And I've been traveling there about once a year since 2009. So my memory is one of those things where you feel like you found a little bit of heaven on earth, and you kind of can't believe that something like this even exists and that you got to experience it or be a part of it. I'll set the scene. This memory takes place at a school, a primary school, with more than 1,000 students there. So big school, city school, and open air, beautiful Jamaica, sunshine, and this is first thing in the morning. So I would be at this particular school like 7 before school even started. And so students are filtering in from a taxi, or their parents are dropping them off, or they're walking to school in groups. And this was in a grade 5 classroom. My friend Melissa teaches this classroom. And she wouldn't even be there yet. It would just be the kids coming to school, showing up, eating a little bit of a snack, getting settled at their desks, and there would be a father of one of the students in there every day, sweeping and like tidying up and chatting with the students and just talking with them. And a lot of times they would start to sing. But this classroom was such a special place, still is. But my friend Melissa, the teacher, was just someone who really made her classroom really intentional, a place where you had a lot of respect and love and peace. And she has a real determination for education for children. So before she was even there, she's the one who kind of creates the atmosphere of this class. And the school was just one that had a lot of peace in it. So like I said, the kids would be singing a lot in the mornings, and this was just them singing for the fun of it. Nobody was in there telling them to do it, but they would be singing songs like I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart, or I am a promise, I am a possibility, I'm a promise with a capital P, I can be anything God wants me to be. And so I would get to just start my day off here like with so much joy. It was very special. Some things that stood out to me about it were just how there was so much light, and it was a place where it was really easy to say I love you. I mean, I would just find myself saying that to students that I got to know better, or even once I didn't, and they would all just be saying it back to me all the time. There was a lot of respect and value of children, young people, and their education. You could pick up that there was an identity of what it means to be Jamaican. What does it mean to grow up in Jamaica? Positivity, unity, we care for each other, maybe a different relationship with time and money than like my American culture has, especially thinking about the father that would be there every day, just spending time making the classroom ready for the students. He wasn't paid to do that. That was just him stepping up. I thought that was so special. It was like a spontaneous, I mean, with kids, it always is. And they're young, they're learning, they're growing, and just the excitement of that potential. And just to hear the music every morning, it was like almost enough to make me a morning person and like happy in the morning, just hearing them. So yeah, I just wanted to close with another quote about Jamaica. And this one's from a sprinter, a Jamaican athlete named Asafa Powell. And he's an Olympian, but he said one time, I thought it was perfect, that Jamaica is the kind of place that touches your heart and follows you home. So I hope I can bring a little bit of that back with me. I'm not going to sing or
Thank-
anything, Beth, so I'm done.
That was your song from your heart. I don't know if you shared this. I so appreciate Frances. She is one of the most faithful people I know, women I know. She's so faithful to people in her life. How many years have you been going to that camp in the summer?
Yes, we go to actually schools. It's based
This-
out of schools. And since 2009. So
Wow.
I think I've been there about 14 times over the years.
Wow. That is so encouraging. Wow. Commendable. Thank you, Frances, for sharing your heart. Those kids' lives are touched, I'm sure, every time you get to go see them and you're touched and you get to bring it back, like you said. I so appreciate that.
Definitely.
Well, I'm going to transition to Dave Paulson and Aaron. And I met them years ago at the 33rd and Webster house where Leslie lived, and Tana and Beth Coyce. And I met them at a bonfire and connected with them through the years, and then just reconnected with them last year. And they have such humble, pure, kind hearts. They've been serving down at the Open Door Mission for many years, I think maybe around 8 years monthly. David is a singer-songwriter, and Mike and I say every time he plays, we're just like, we melt, we're arrested. So I just wanted to invite them into sharing a little story as well about just maybe a memory from the Open Door Mission that they've had. And that might relate around kind of music that we're talking about. So I'm going to let you guys go ahead and share. I'm glad you're here.
For having us. Great stories, everyone. Thank you for sharing.
Move over.
Can
Yeah,
I have you
Kathy,
speak up
yeah,
just
you
a
asked
little bit,
something.
David? I'm sorry to interrupt. Can I have you speak up a little bit just so we can hear you?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, Amber's gonna start this. You asked for something with
The
just
shelters.
relationship at the shelters. Amber's gonna tell you about a friend of ours down there. And this is at the Francis house, this particular one.
So we go to the shelters, but this was at the Santa Francis house. There's a man who lives in the shelter who every time we would go down there once a month, he was so full of joy, so happy. And one time we were talking to the director there, and we said, we love it how Elvin is so happy all the time. He's just so full of joy and he's always smiling. And she said, actually, no, he's not always happy. He's down a lot of times. But he loves music, she said. And so when you guys come and play music, it really brings him joy. So we were like, wow, we're amazed at what the music can do in his life. So it brings him joy. We were super glad about that.
So then over the years, we got to know him better, and he started playing tambourine with us, playing music, and he must have played drums for just a little bit, but he had like a favorite song that he liked the best, and he would just play tambourine and stand there and smile the whole time, and it brought joy to us, and he was happy, and the people at the shelter, not everyone, but it would bring joy to some of them seeing him up there. And he was really good at the rhythm and finding the pattern to play the tambourine. He was really good at it. Anyway, yeah. And he wore like a really big coat, maybe multiple coats, and he gives really, really, really long, long hugs. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Just, it's really touching and such important people connecting and loving on others. Do you have a song that you can share with us?
Yeah, I'll play his favorite song. So this is the one he'd say, I'm like, what song should we do? And sometimes I would have him pick out the songs, and he'd look through the book and he'd say, that one, or this. And it'd be cool. And like the Lord would use it while we're down there. But he would say, my favorite. And this is the song he was talking about. And it's my prodigal son story of me. I'm coming home to your slow. The promises of this world, they're empty compared to you. Open arms. I'm coming home to you. The promises of this world, they're empty compared to you. Open arms as we embrace, like you, Lord, the life I give, accepting arms with sweet embrace, my love. Oh, to you I give my life to stay. Oh, call to you, Lord, I give my life this day. Oh, yeah. That was his favorite song of mine.
I love it. Thank you so much, you guys, for sharing your hearts and your stories. I love that song. David has so many great songs beyond that. Okay, well, I'm going to move to the fourth vignette here. And this one it's called Dismantling Mountains. And it's a tribute to my mother. And my mother went back to school she went to college when I was a teenager. I don't know what year I was, maybe my freshman or sophomore year. And I know this was a sacrifice for her. She was working full time, raising 4 children, traveling 50 minutes from Blair, where we grew up, to Bellevue to get her degree. And I just remember as a teenager, right when I was going to bed, I would go into the kitchen and she would set up shop at like 10 o'clock at night. And she'd had all of her books, her business accounting books on the table. And she was just starting to study when I was going to bed. And so she was determined to finish her bachelor's degree, and she did. Way to go, Mom. That was awesome. She modeled determination and perseverance to me when her circumstances seemed bigger than what she could handle. The concept was not new to her or to our family. When us kids were younger, she spent some time in a rehabilitation facility for depression. I remember this being a very difficult time for us and for my father and for her. And while she was away in Norfolk, Nebraska, my father would help calm and dismantle the mountains of fear in my heart as he would kneel down beside our beds every night and pray with each one of us kids. When circumstances seemed now, I guess, when circumstances seem much greater than what I can handle, which is pretty much everything in life, I'm just learning from that vignette and from that memory and that story, how to trust God more, to give him my hand as he gently leads me and walks beside me. I'm still tempted to run, to busyness, just to run away from him, to emotional eating at times. But I pick myself back up. I start again. And I'm grateful that I'm not where I used to be. So I've asked my mom to share a little bit in this vignette. Mom, if you could describe that time in your life as a color. So part of ValHues is the hue is color. What color would that time of your life be and why?
I chose the color purple because it represents ambition, dignity, devotion, peace, pride, and wisdom.
And I'll just repeat what she said. If that's probably Daisy.
Yes.
Okay, her little Shih Tzu is barking. But she said the color purple because it represents ambition, dignity, devotion, peace, pride, and wisdom. And then, Mom, what are 3 words you would use to describe climbing that mountain and getting your degree later in life?
I would say determination, confidence, and thankfulness. And the reason for thankfulness is because when I was working at Dana College, my boss approached me one day and asked me if I'd be interested in going back to school. And I said yes, but I don't have the money or the time. And he said, well, if you're interested, you can start taking classes during the day and make up your time. And then at that time we had weekend college, and I started taking some Friday and Saturday classes. So it was his words of confidence in me that gave me the confidence to go back to school and get my degree. And I'm so ever thankful to him for that.
Oh, that's awesome, Mom. I'm so proud of you. I have one more question too. Once you got to the top of that mountain, you were climbing and working so hard, it was difficult. After all of your hard work, how would you describe the view from the top?
I think a sense of accomplishment, a sense of freedom and happiness, having it, all those hours of studying over with. And if I was looking down from the mountains, it would be filled with bright flowers and sunshine and a stream filled with flowing water. It would bring a sense of awe and optimism. And the beauty reminds me of positivity and the whoops. The beauty reminds me of positivity and opportunity to go for your dreams. God gives us gifts and he wants us to use them. And I felt I was finally able to do something that I had always wanted to do, is go back to school. And it was so I was so grateful and thankful that I was able to do that.
Yay! Give her a round of applause. Thank you for sharing, Mom. This is the painting that I painted, your purple mountains, and the picture that you described from the top of that mountain. I just tried to put it into a painting. So,
Really cool.
oh, yeah. Okay, so Christina Repair is here with me. We're going to sing a song dedicated to my mom. And this is called Do It Again. So she's going to pop up here with me. And then if you get your pens and papers ready, we will do a little activity and start to wind down. Christina is such a loving woman and mom and a really great friend. So how are we going to do this?
I can.
No, here.
Aw,
It's okay.
okay.
If you really want.
I do. How about you come on the other side of me? Okay. We're trying to figure out our space here. Okay.
Walking around these walls, I thought by now they'd fall, but you have never failed me yet. Waiting for change to come, knowing the battle's won, for you have never failed me yet. Your promise still stands, great is your faithfulness, faithfulness. I'm still in your hands, this is my confidence, you never failed me yet. I know the night won't last, your word will come to pass. My heart will sing your praise again. Jesus, you're still enough. Keep me within your love. My heart will sing your praise again. Yeah. Your promise still stands, great is your faithfulness, faithfulness. I'm still in your hands, this is my confidence, you never fail me yet. I've seen you move the mountains, and I believe I see you do it again. You made a way when there was no way, and I believe your promise still stands. Great is your faithfulness, faithfulness. I'm still in your hands. This is my confidence. You never failed me yet. You've never failed me yet. I never will forget. You never failed me yet.
Thank you, Christina. Oh, love her voice. Okay, with the bit of time we have left, we're just going to take just a few minutes here, and I want you to, on your paper, with your pastels or crayons or markers, whatever you have, keep it real simple, but I want you to draw a mountain on your paper. So you can draw one big mountain, you can draw several mountains, but make sure you have one big one. And if you don't want to draw, you can just think about it. Let's draw.
Okay,
Okay.
let's do it.
And as you're doing that, I want you to think about a time you had to overcome something difficult in your life. What 3 words would you use to describe that time? And write them on the left side of the mountain, kind of going up the mountain. And as you're thinking about that,
could you repeat that, what we're supposed to write up the side of the mountain?
Yep. So you're going to write up the side of the mountain, thinking about a time you went through overcoming something difficult, and 3 words that describe that time. And then at the peak of the mountain, I want you to just write 1 word to describe the victory, or what happened when you kind of made it past that issue. Just think about 1 word. And in the center of your mountain, if you'd like, you can write out a bit of the scenario about what the situation was. Okay, you're kind of thinking about your stuff. as you're finishing, let's see if this will even work. I was going to have everybody hold theirs up, but some of the lighting is maybe not the best. I guess if you kind of go back, you can maybe see a little bit. Oh, Jane! Oh my gosh!
Oh my goodness.
Wow, how fun! Oh, I see some mountains. Oh, look at the girls! Oh my gosh! Oh, Debbie's. Oh, Francis. So great. Would anybody, I've just got just a few minutes here. Would anybody want to read? Maybe I could have like maybe 3 people share or so, or 4 people, and just read your 3 words and then your word at the peak, if you thought of a word.
I will go.
Okay, Debbie.
I didn't realize it was a challenge that had to be completely over, but the 3 words, and you'll figure out immediately what it is, but isolation, lonely, and masks.
Mm.
So I live by myself. So the middle part was dealing with COVID,
Yeah.
like social distancing.
Yeah.
But I put family time at the peak because I have intentionally gone down to see my mom. Like I've made sure I haven't been around anybody for a couple weeks because she's 79, and then spent time with her and with my nephews, and that has totally made a difference.
Thank you for sharing. We can relate. Anybody else want to share their words? Look at the girls.
So
Those kids.
cute.
Those kids are making faces. They're so cute. Mikey?
Sure.
Okay.
Am I unmuted? Am I muted or unmuted?
We can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I could. I'm rather small and I have zero artistic ability, but mine was. Can you see that at all?
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's pretty personal. I don't know, but I guess I don't care. Yeah, my 3 words were pain, long, and hopeless. And my victory word is, or my overcome word, or my top of the mountain word was victorious with many exclamation points.
Thanks for
Oh.
sharing.
And the situation was, I don't know, can you read that?
No.
It was beating addiction.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
It's good. Anybody else want to share?
I will.
Okay.
My first 3 words were grief and change and overwhelmed. And the top of the mountain, it's an idea rather than just a word, one thing at a time. And the situation is when my dad's wife died and left him, leaving him very much alone because he has such a minuscule support network.
Wow.
Is that wrong?
Thank you for sharing. It's good. Anybody else? One more?
No one else shares. I will if you want me to.
Christina said she'd share if nobody else shares.
Okay.
Okay.
Here's my mountain. Lots of little mountains going up. But anyway, the words I shared were tired, weary, and vulnerable. And at the top of my mountain, I said victory. And kind of part of that just this last year. It's been an ongoing challenge with our teenage son, but I was recently able to become vulnerable with my husband, and I feel like we were able to share a whole new level of intimacy this past year.
That is a victory. I'm going to wind down here before we get on with the kiddos here. I just have one more song to share. There is a singer-songwriter that she's been around for years. Her name is Sandra McCracken. Anybody know her? Look her up. She's great. Very folky. kind of a folky background. But if you think about it, look up her video, her original video to the song called Love Will Bring You Home. And that's one of my values in life, is just trying to learn how to love people well. And so this song is just, it's really cool. If you watch the video, it's at a lake with a kind of a lake in the background. She's got this upright celloist playing with her, and it's just absolutely beautiful. So I just wanted to leave you with this, and I hope you were encouraged. I hope you had fun. You all sang great, and just an encouragement to share with those people you love, or somebody that you think about, just what they mean to you and why you appreciate them. There's something so valuing when we value people in our life. And I value each one of you. Okay, so this is called Love Will Bring You Home. September sunlight through the clouds, arms stretched out, the north, the south, the pavement's pacing with your shoes, dancing cover from the heat, racing the shadows of the trees. Someone's looking out for you. You've come so far, how far you've come. Go the distance into the arms where you belong. Love will bring you home. Love will bring you home. You are hard pressed on every side. You persevere through valleys wide. He will not cause your foot to slip. He sets the wind against your back. The finish near, it is not yet. Thanksgiving ever on your lips. You've come so far, how far you have come. Go the distance into the arms where you belong. Love will bring you home. Love will bring you home. The bridegroom's son runs across the sky. With legs so strong, he runs to meet his bride. With every sunrise, with every sunrise. You are my portion and my cup, poured out for me, you fill me up. With oil you have anointed me. And as I run, I want to rest, to feel your peace within my chest, like Mary sitting at your feet. You've come so far, how far you've come. Go the distance into the arms where you belong. Love will bring you home. Love will bring you home. Love will bring you home. Okay. Aw. Thanks for singing. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Just in closing, I'm planning on having another event, maybe at the end of May, where I'm going to just be trying to bring together a variety of creative people, from photography to baking to dance and music, visual art, a little bit of everything, and to be able to let those people share where you can find their art, their work, their cupcakes, their photography, and just for people to be able to kind of reach out to others and support others who are doing creative work. Okay. Okay. Thanks everybody for coming. Thanks for spending your Saturday with us. And I just loved hearing your stories and seeing faces and hearing hearts. And it's time for a few kiddos to, we're doing a birthday theme. So if you're, feel free to stay if you want, feel free to move on with your Saturday and have a great day. Bye, Sam. Okay. I've got one thing I need to pull up here. Oh, I really hope it works. Darn. You all on still? Okay. I'm going to pause my recording.